Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto channel. We are live. How is everyone this morning? I hope you guys are good. It is Tuesday morning. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. Had to get my phone because we had a news event this morning, and let's check it out. I'm gonna jump right on there. It won't pull up on my computer again. Let's see what the news data said. Let's see who's in here, guys. How are y'all this morning? How is everyone? Everybody good? Everybody get all recovered from the Super Bowl? We had bullish news. I mean, they're really small news today, so nothing major. The bigger news events come, we talked about tomorrow. And Friday. Friday's the biggie, but tomorrow's going to be pretty big too, guys, okay? So I can't pull it up on my screen, or I would show you, but very slight, smaller kind of news events today. Sorry, I'm running and gunning this morning. I'm just getting back from the gym, so let's see who's here. Max, what's up, dude? Good morning, Max. Carrie Benz, good morning. Salt Chain, West Coast, and John the Mod. What's up, guys? How are you guys doing this morning? Thanos, my main man. There's Thanos. What's up, dude? What's up? So Bitcoin getting a little bit of a dump in the evening. Yeah, we're going to take a look at price action. We're going to see, we got a poll in chat. Can Bitcoin rally? If so, what are your targets for the Bitcoin rally if we even get one right now? Are we going to get one? Are we headed straight down? I think we have the answer. But I want to see what you guys think. So, check it out, guys. I posted this. Well, first of all, let's go over a little bit of housekeeping. I know some of you guys are kind of interested in what we're doing here in the crew, so let's take a look. I gave in advance yesterday a trade that I took, and we'll show you that. Let's go over to the Discord. I gave you guys this trade yesterday. I gave you one the day before, too. Gave you this trade, good Bitcoin short, right here on February 8th. So 2 days ago, Sunday, I told you I took a Bitcoin short at 711. I told you as soon as I took it, showed you the P&L, showed you that trade, walked you through it as I took profit as well. $2,200 on that. And then yesterday, I think I posted it in this channel, the Bitcoin chat channel. We have two Bitcoin channels. Yeah, right here. I said at 1:54 Central Time yesterday, I said, looking for a potential Bitcoin short trade here. If we can confirm a 15-minute swing failure pattern, SFP, we have the bear dibs on the 1 minute and the 15 minutes. So that lets you know that we were looking for a confirmed SFP of this right here. We did get that. I did take the trade, and I'll let you know when I took my first profit for $300. And then kind of kept you in the loop to let you know that I was still in it. Just took another TP2 for 25% of my trade. And then I closed it out this morning. I posted that too, but I closed it out for $2,300 profit. So good job. In the last 2 days, we're at $4,500 on two trades given in advance in the dang VIP Discord, guys. I hope you took them with me. So good job on those. I see a few of you commenting here that y'all took them as well. So nice job there. Good job. Congratulations. I'm proud of you guys. Max says, I took that short with you yesterday. Just closed it out. Another $1,150 profit. Thank you. You're welcome, bro. You are welcome. $1,150. You hit both of those trades. If I remember correctly, you got the one on Sunday also. Eons. Morning. Good job, guys. All right. So where do we go from here? I did also let you know, I want to show you one more thing in the Discord this morning, which it's already happened. It's already gone. I was updating you on people loading up the guns, all the ETFs loading up, and CEFU, CEFFU ETF loaded up this morning. You can see them right here. They loaded up their guns. I'm looking at the CEFU outflow here. Those are some Ethereum. It looks like they're loading up Ethereums right now, as a matter of fact. What is this? I don't even know what symbol that is. BNB. So they're loading up Ethereum and BNB, about to dump those on you if they haven't already. But let's take a look at their Bitcoins. I'll let you know this morning. They loaded up last night. They loaded up, probably, I didn't add all this up, but it looks like it's probably close to $700 million worth that they loaded up and dumped on you like that. They loaded them up, pulled the trigger. Grayscale unloaded what it also had on there, most of what it also had. And then I haven't even checked this morning, but BlackRock loaded up this morning. I did see that, and I posted that in the Discord to give you the heads up. BlackRock had loaded up another round here. You can see BlackRock loaded up some Bitcoin, a whole bunch of Bitcoin this morning. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 orders of about 300 Bitcoin, so about 27, almost 3,000 Bitcoin they loaded up on you guys. About $200 million worth or so. Let's see if they sold these. They sold that one. I'm not going to go through them all. We'll just look at a couple of random ones here. They did sell that, so they sold that. So, yeah, they sold all these on you. So, the institution's dumping on you this morning, guys. That's where we're getting this big drop. This big drop here this morning coming in. Looks like we're bouncing a little now, but we did get the big drop right in here. You can see the blood diamond right in here. All these right here. That was them dumping on you in the night. So, institutions be doing what institutions be doing. Revamp, Umer, what's up, dude? Good to see you this morning. Good to see you. So I'm not going to get off on my soapbox about institutions again. You guys already know. Everybody thought it was super bullish. Y'all remember back when these ETFs got approved, you couldn't tell anybody that this was really bearish and that they weren't in it for you to make money. You couldn't tell. They just wouldn't listen. But I did have somebody message me a couple days ago when I got off on this rant, and were like, no, BlackRock and the ETFs, they weren't allowed to buy before 2024 when the ETFs are approved. And that's just like dumb. That is just zero research. You could do a quick, and I'm just going to show you a flashbang right here. A quick 30-second search will show you. This is just one article. This is the very first article. And this was put out February of 2021. BlackRock, they started to buy Bitcoin. And the only reason they admitted to this is because it came out in their annual balance sheet from 2020, okay? And I'm not fixing to go back to the chart. You go look yourself. The fourth quarter of 2020, Bitcoin was sub 10K, below $10,000. And they were already adding to their balance sheet, okay? This article is from February 2021. Where they were adding at least in the fourth quarter at sub 10K. So everybody who thinks, no, they bought in 2024 and Bitcoin was at 50K, they can't sell now, it's not enough profit. Guys, they've been buying this stuff since it was worth $1,000, okay? They've been buying this stuff. They're at 50K, 60K, they're 50, 60X in profit, okay? Sure, they bought some higher, so their dollar cost average, may not be $1,000, but they've been in this game a lot longer than you think. And how does that happen? Well, they hold it in one fund over here, okay, like a checking and savings account. They got it in their checking account. Once they're approved for their savings, which is the ETF, they just transfer from checking to savings. That's it. That's it. And, yeah, they bought a little more to go in that savings, but they already had it, guys. So they're well into profit now, and they have no problem dumping on you at 60K. All right, enough of the rant. Go look it up if you don't believe me. All of them did this. All of them have been in this game a lot longer than 2024. And if you're not familiar, I'm not going to go through it all again, but that platform that I was just looking at is Arkham, ARKHAM, and it's Arkham Intel. It's the Intel section of Arkham that shows you the you can look up the ETFs. You can search for whatever you want. You can search for Coinbase. You can search for BlackRock, MicroStrategy, Binance. You can search for all of this. And then when you come down to the bottom right section, if I search for one, let's just pull up BlackRock again. Come down to the bottom right section, you go to outflows. Outflows. They have inflows, outflows, swaps. Go to outflows, and it'll show you when they're transferring from their ETFs to, they use Coinbase. So when they transfer to Coinbase, you can see all of their transactions when they're transferring over. And that means get out of the way or get in the short, one of the two. But you got to catch it quick. You got to catch it instantly because they usually sell quick. Some of them will let it sit there for a few hours or a couple days, but the BlackRock usually doesn't do that. So right here, there's a little bell, a little ticker here. You can click on that, and you can set an alert. And you can customize the alert that when BlackRock transfers out, so their outflows. Okay, that's all we care about, is outflows. when they transfer out, and you can set the dollar amount, or you can set a range, whatever. Customize your alert, and you'll get alerted. That way you can get out of the way or get on the train when they transfer, because it's coming when they move money. They don't move like you and I, like 10 grand. They move like $1 billion, 600-700 million, enough to move the market. Anyway, intel.arcm, intel.arkm.com. That's where you go to get this this exchange. John, never looked at that site before. I'm going to have to go sleuthing this week. Yeah, and if you don't set your alert, it does you no good. Every once in a while, like Grayscale will transfer on there, and they're set there for about 2 days. And that happens sometimes, but you want the alert, because usually when they transfer on, it's gone. 5-10 minutes later, it's gone, usually. So if you're just kind of checking this once or twice a day, it's probably going to do you no good. You have to have an alert set, and you have to know the ones. The ones that typically dump on you are BlackRock, Grayscale, and Ceffu, C-E-F-F-U. I'll pull that one up for you because I know most folks have not heard of that, but they are a big one. C-E-F-F, right there, Ceffu, C-E-F-F-U. And if you're holding alts, some of these will like they've been transferring BNB and Ethereum here, but you can trim it down. Click this button here, trim it down to just see their Bitcoin if all you're interested is Bitcoin. And also Binance will sell on you sometimes, but it's very hard to track the Binances because they sell on their own exchange. They just have to transfer from one wallet to the other. It's very difficult to track that. Just stick with these ETFs and you'll be successful. Get some of these bigger ETFs, figure out when they're selling, and that'll be good. All right, guys, I hope that helps you guys in the future to track that stuff. Big news days tomorrow, guys. We're going to do a lot of trading this week. So I'm probably going to go live in the VIP Discord for you guys. We do a lot of live trading in there for VIP Discord only, Wednesday and Friday. I hope that's good for everyone. We have the huge news days then, guys. We have tomorrow unemployment rate and non-farm payrolls, which are massive volatility reports. And even bigger than both of those is Friday's CPI report. So no matter which way they come in, bearish, bullish, it doesn't matter. It's tradable, short, long, right? Doesn't really matter. So they're going to create good volatility. So I'm thinking we're going to go live Wednesday and Friday in VIP Discord. Of course, we'll still do our morning live streams here. But after that, you know how I like to do. Give me an hour or so, and we'll go live, and we'll do some live trading. I may not be hitting these little. I found that most of you don't really like the ones where I'm in and out in 10 seconds. So we may look for some little more quality trades. If you've noticed in the Discord, I've really only been giving you the better trades lately. I used to post some of the scalps here and there, but most of you, not all, and I'm not knocking you, but most of the times when I post those, I'm in and out, and I just realized that by the time a lot of folks got that and tried to enter, I was already out of the trade. So I've been giving you the bigger ones, like even just the last two I showed you. Those are both, we're up 4,500 plus bucks just in those two trades. So I've been giving you the better quality trades in there, guys. So again, not financial advice. You do your own thing, but that's kind of the gist of what we've had going on in there, guys. All right. Let's take a look. Let's see where we are, guys. Bitcoin really hasn't moved since yesterday. What time is it? 8:30 my time. Let's go down to the hourly. We are here, and Monday 8:30. Look, we were right here. This green candle. So we're in the exact same place we were in yesterday, okay? Exact same spot. I mean, you can see we even came down to the same low. Look, low from yesterday, low from today, okay? Are we just going to kind of rotate like this? That's all we've been doing, since the big dump. That's all we've been doing. Same thing, same thing. So we're just kind of bouncing this little range here, guys. Salt chain, that'd be great. I like the scalping a lot, but it's nice to have the bigger long trade too. That is pretty much it. If I post in Discord, okay, in Discord, I'm not saying we won't do some live scalps. We certainly, if I'm doing a live scalp, there's no reason you can't see me hit the long button and you go long if you so choose. But it's not financial advice. But if you so choose, you can see that instantly, so you can react with me. But if I post in Discord, it's going to be what I believe to be a longer entry, right? I'm planning to be in this for at least a couple hours. I mean, it doesn't have to happen that way. I could be expecting a $3,000 drop, and 3 minutes later, Bitcoin could go, whoosh, you know? So I can't anticipate timing, but I'm going to give the larger target trades in there only, okay? Larger target trades for Bitcoin only. And if you're in the Discord and you're not really sure what my targets are, a lot of times I don't post that because it can change. And I don't want someone, if we're at 70K and I think we're going to 65, I don't want you holding out for 65 if something happens at 67 and we need to get out. So, and a lot of people will do that. You'd be surprised. Anyway, posting the bigger, longer trades in Discord only now. West Coast, yeah, he likes the longer trades too. Well, hopefully you guys both took those. I know that Max and John and Hunches and two others had DM'd me their P&L cards. A lot of you guys, feel free to post your P&L cards. You know, I think that encourages other people. But a lot of you send them directly to me, which is cool. I like that. I like seeing that. I like cheering you guys on. I like knowing you're doing well. But post them. Encourage other people. That would be great if you feel comfortable. Scalping, it's like when I want to get DoorDash tonight. Yeah, that's right. Like just quick and easy, ding, ding, in and out. Yeah, I get it. I like scalping. I love scalping. But I like the bigger day trades too, and we do take them. So hopefully you guys, West Coast, Thanos, Salt Chain, hopefully you guys took those the last couple days I gave. They were good ones. All right, so we've really gone nowhere since yesterday. That's the white line. That's where we are. The U.S. market is open. Let's drop to the 5-minute, see what we look like here. Asia and UK pretty much trended down, right? I mean, it's undeniable. You can't miss it. Here's Asia. There's UK. Here comes the U.S. Right? Right? Right. That's what we're looking for today, guys. That's what we're hoping for. I know there's a lot of bearish things on the chart. Everything's bearish. Everything's bearish. But the U.S. just doesn't like to go quietly into that good night. They like to take a little back. So I would look for a little bit more of a move up today from the U.S. I'm not talking 100K. Speaking of which, let me know in the poll what you're thinking as far as a rally. If we even get one, let me know in the poll. Bitcoin is kind of moving to the downside right here in the first 5 minutes. We're looking for the 845 trade. I would lean more towards a long trade back up. Sorry, I don't even have my MEXC pulled up. Let me get it pulled up. I'm on MEXC today, guys. MEXCtrading.us. The banner is up top. Also trading on KCEX, KCEX, trading.com. Big move down here, guys. All right, let's see what happens. So we got 845 coming up. Let's see if we get that move back to the upside. I know things look bearish. Everything looks bearish. Everything looks terrible. We're watching it. I'm with you guys. Just going to kind of watch this for a minute, and then I want to show you something. Oh, nice. West Coast caught the trade I gave yesterday. Nice, nice, nice. I got in. I'm headed in the wrong direction on a little altcoin trade, but I'm okay with that, okay? I took this on a 3-day and weekly green dot with some other things. So I didn't take this on like a 30-minute signal, right? So I'm okay with having a little drawdown on this. I'm still confident, but BlackRock and Cephus certainly did not help the cause last night. Everything was looking good for a good move up on H-bar, and then they came in and dumped on us big time, which of course dragged the rest of the market down. John was short from 71K. Good job, bro. Good job. Gosh, look at this. The U.S. dumping. Let's see if they turn this back around. This would be a good turnaround if they did this at 845, but this is a big dump so far, guys. Right out of the gate. That's usually what we like to see, though. At 8:30, we like to see that that vector candle in one direction. Let me erase that white line. Vector candle in one direction, and then 8:45, we like to see the turnaround for the real move. This is the false move, followed by the real move. So that's what we're hoping for today, guys. I don't know that we get that, but we'll see. We'll see. Did they take the UK low here? Let me see. 68,358. No, they did not take the UK low. I would look for them to take the UK low and then probably come back and take the Asia high. I'll throw that on for you guys. There it is. Bad news, though, guys, for price, we are kind of stuck now. We're back in the value area range, and you know the law of the volume profile. You get stuck back in the range, you get stuck below the value area high, the next most likely place, like a magnet, is to rotate to the point of control. If you can hold that, good, you can move up and out, but if you don't, if you lose this, next stop, value area low. So we do have a couple swing lows down here. We got one going way back in time, but then we have one here from last week. So if we cannot get back out of this value area high, then our most likely spots come back down to 60K, sub 60K. So really need to be looking for a move up and out of here. You know, everything does look very, very, very bearish. We're going to look at the macro scale in just a second. I was trying to look for us a trade here, but this is not looking good. Oh, well, let's move on. Let's see. We'll come back to it. We'll see how it pans out. So, guys, I showed this yesterday, and I showed this to you on January 31st as we went over our monthly stats for February. We did go over this, and this was the prediction that I made. If you remember, this is what statistics say. Statistically, we would come down here at about 48 to 50K in the month of February. And if you remember, I drew this yellow line has been over on here since January 31st when price was right here. I said, I don't think we get down there in February, although statistically speaking, that's what it says. I said, I think we come and check up about right there, which is our monthly 55 EMA. And thus far, that's what we've done. Could we continue lower? Absolutely we can. But we did come up into the box, which was only, I was projecting up to a 2.19%, so about a 2% move to the upside. We didn't even get that. Which is cool. We came up in our box, short trade, down, and here we are, guys. Here we are. So far, we are on track. Big little dump here, guys. Wow. I didn't even check my phone to see if we got... Doesn't look like ETF stuff selling off. This is just a good old US of A. US market. All right, guys, so let's take a look here. Oops, my time frame moved. I showed you this chart yesterday comparing the 2022 bear leg down or the 2022 cycle to this current cycle. But let's go back another cycle, which we did not look at yesterday, which is our 2018 cycle. Okay, this is the final bear leg down. Here is where I believe we are. The red line marks, well, it looks like I moved this. The red line marks the bear cross, as I call it, which is the monthly 5 crossing the monthly 13. So the white crossing the orange. And then you get that big push down. Okay, that's exactly what we got in 2022, and that's exactly what we've gotten this year. And here's the kind of zoomed in look on the daily time frame. We looked at this on the weekly and monthly. Here's a daily of this from 2018. Now, it took us 28 days to get to this green line, which is the monthly 55. This time it took us 17 days, okay? So 28 days and 17 days to get down here. Then you had a bounce, okay? This bounce right here, okay? From the 55, you had this bounce. You know, we got all this same good old stuff in 2022. We covered that yesterday. So you got this bounce. This bounce was 26%, right? 26% bounce right there. Then you came back and set one more low, right? You came back and set one more low here where you bottomed out. So from the time you got this bounce to the time you set the final low was 20 more days, okay? 20 more days, okay? And then you bounce for 35%. This bounce right here was 35%. And then you just kind of chop sideways for a little while in the bear market. No more lows, though. Chop sideways and then kind of eventually moved up and on out of there for the next bull run, okay? Very similar to 2022. Okay, so that doesn't mean that's what's going to happen this time, but we have to assume since it's happened every single time, it's probably going to happen again, somewhat similar, even if not exact. So we were looking at 28 days to the first bounce. Here we had 17 days. Then we had 20 days to the next bounce. And currently we are on day 4. So if we got somewhere around 20 days, and in 2022 was 37 days, so let's hit it in the middle, somewhere there around 30 days. That's going to put us out right there about the first week of March. So first week of March, sometime around the first week of March, middle of March, probably at the latest, we're going to be looking to set another low because I don't believe the low is in, okay? So what kind of bounce have we gotten thus far? Let's take a look at that. In 2018, at this level, we got a 28% bounce. 26% bounce. In 22, we got a 27. So both of them about a 26, 27% bounce. That's wrong. Thus far, we have gotten a 20% bounce, okay? 20%. So about 6-7% less than the other cycles. So is this bounce over? It very well could be, okay? 20% is pretty dang close. It's in the ballpark. But I just don't know. That's the toughest part. I would think just like we did here, we set a high, an initial high, and then we moved down a little, and then we came back and we took that high out. We did the same thing. I'm going to move forward to show you what I showed you yesterday. We did the same thing in 2022, and I think this is going to be the key for any of you looking for a kind of short-term rally right here. Maybe not today. I think this is going to be key. We did this both times. So we came and set the low, right? And this is the bounce that we're currently in right there, right here, this low. Then we set a high. We kind of danced around for a week, week and a half. And then we came and faked out a little high, took this high out, and that's when we rolled over, okay? Kind of inducing people to go long, late longers, long in the top, and then they ripped it around on them. And I kind of think that's what we're going to get this time, okay? Just kind of something like this for a couple of weeks. False move to the upside, big move to the downside, okay, somewhere down in here, and then chop all in here for the summer months before moving up and out. This is exactly what I think we're going to get, guys, exactly like this. So I do think we come back and take out this high. I don't think 20% was the ultimate high before the dump. I think we get a little more. I could be totally wrong about that. I'm not willing to bet it, but I do think we get that. I don't think it's today or tomorrow. These typically took over a week before that played out, so maybe sometime next week we could be looking for that before dumping down headed into March. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. That's kind of what I'm looking for. I do want to show you something that kind of corroborates that. So we've looked at these circles. These circles have been on this chart for a couple of months. And this is previous cycle, the first group of circles, and then current cycle. And you can see they look pretty dang similar. I'd say almost exact. Not quite, but almost. Just the steps up, the number of circles up, the number of circles down. And we've had circle 8 on here since long before we got into this circle, okay? And we're ultimately looking for circle number 9, right? That's what we're ultimately looking for. You know, something like this, and then boom, and then chop, 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 and then move up and out of here. Don't pay attention to the timing here. This is ultimately what I'm looking for, guys. What I want to throw on here that I don't think I've shown you, I may have posted this in Discord, but I don't think I've shown it on stream, is what I call the final bear leg down. This final leg down from the time we got the cross. Let's look at that fractal. And I'm not usually a big fractal guy, but here we go. All right, you can see how I'm on the weekly time frame. You can see how almost exact this looks, right? This is from the 2022 bear leg down. It's almost exact. I mean, some slight differences. The percentages may not be the same, and that's okay, but the structure is almost exact, okay? And on a weekly time frame, you can see we hung out in here. If this candle's this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks before leaving this. We're on week 2 now. If you count last week, the big drop. We should have 4 weeks post-drop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we drop. It doesn't mean that has to happen this time. We're just looking because structurally it's been, well, you can see. And then you drop one more time and you take out the low and then you just consolidate there for a while. Okay, and eventually move up and out. And I just don't think it has played out dang near exact to this point on the way up, in the middle, and on the way down to not at least have a similar bottoming structure. Similar, not exact, okay? So this is what we're looking for, guys. Something like this. And if this comes down, that'll put you somewhere in the area of 50K. Now, that doesn't have to be exact. You can see on this current drop, the blue line was from the last drop. You didn't come as low as we did this time, so we could come lower. Or we may not go as low. But I'm looking for somewhere in here around 50K, okay? Now, on the last cycle, you actually came, this is circle 1, okay? This first little cluster right here. Way down here, this first consolidation on the way up. A little month-long consolidation. That is circle 1. You came all the way into that last time, which is going to put you in the 40,000s. If not, upper 30s. Don't think that can't happen. That absolutely can happen. People said that we could never go below an all-time high before last cycle. And what did we do? All-time high was 20K. We came down to 17K. Okay? People said that couldn't happen. It did. Don't say that can't happen. We're already below last cycle's all-time high. We're already below that. So this absolutely can happen. But I'm a buyer. I'm aggressively buying if we get in the 40s. I mean, I am dumping like kids' college funds if we get into the 40s, right? But I'm pretty aggressively buying when we get in the kind of mid-50s, mid to low 50s. I'm kind of aggressively buying there. Think about this, guys. If you buy at 52K and the price goes to 49K and then goes to 200 next cycle, does it really matter if you bought at 49 or 52K? You're both 4Xing your money, so it's not going to matter at all. What you don't want to do is assume you're going to 49K. It comes to 52, does a little bounce. You say, okay, we're coming to 49, we're coming to 49, we're coming to 49. And next thing you know, you're buying at 80. Don't do that. Front run what you think it's going to by a little bit, okay? Okay? The percentage is so minor in the macro picture, right? Front run it a little bit, guys. So I'm aggressively buying at mid to low 50s. Aggressively. Okay? And I'm selling organs and stuff if it gets into 40s, right? Right? You get me? All right. John said same 45 to 48K. I'm taking out a second mortgage. He says just kidding. I don't think you're kidding at all. If I had a mortgage, I'd probably do that. Salt Chain balling so much his Bitcoin's done paid his house off. See that, y'all? You can always go get a mortgage. All right? Just kidding. Don't do that. All right, guys. So this is what we're looking for. This is the fractal. We are in box 8 right here. We're in box 8, just like in the last cycle. And as you can see, it didn't just settle low and then roll back over and head down. We certainly could, but it chopped around this area for about a month. So I'm not panicking right here. I think we have some time to come back up. Even your alts that are dumping today, if Bitcoin continues back up here, you know, does this little up, down, chop, 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 you're also pick back up. So if you got in a bad alt trade yesterday, don't worry. You might be there for a couple days, but I think you'll come back out and get at least a break even out of it, but probably some profit out of that. We're going to look at alts in a second, which reminds me, John's halfway kidding. I knew it. I knew you weren't totally kidding. I knew that. If you want me to look at some alts, drop them in the chat right now. Any alts you want me to look at, because now is the time, guys. In my opinion, we're not at the ultimate bottom, so it's not time to, you know, moonbag on the alts yet. But now is the time to start accumulating and spot trading them for profit. We're already spot trading them for profit. We've made thousands, I think like $15,000, $16,000 in the last week and a half. Spot trading alts in the VIP Discord. I'm down about 2% on the day, but that's okay. That's okay. If I'm up 15 grand, then I'm like down $1,000. on alt last night thanks to BlackRock and Cefu, who dumped the market, but that's okay. Again, I think we're fixing a chop in here, which means your alts that are down today are going to chop as well, just like Bitcoin before they go settle low, right? So I'm not worried about it. In a couple days, we'll be right back up here. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Matter of fact, let's take a look at H-bar. That's the one we're in now. It's the bad, I call it bad trade. Let's go to the 4 hour. We'll start with H-bar because this is the one I gave last night. All right, we got in this trade yesterday evening. Let's go to the 1 hour. H-bar is down about 2% on the day because I'm on the Kraken chart, so it's down 2% on the day because I spot trade on Kraken. But I don't think there's any chance we don't come back, take out some of these highs, guys. I mean, you can see we're not even as low as we were yesterday. So I'm okay with that, and we still came up to here. So we're just kind of forming this little symmetrical triangle, which I hate. So even if we broke out to the downside, you know these are like 80% of the time fake outs to the upside. So I don't really care. If we fake out to the downside, we're probably fixing to rip back up to the upside, and I'm going to get out in profit. And if we fake out to the upside, I'm going to close out in profit before we rip to the downside. So either way, I think I'm good here, okay? So I'm not worried about it at all. H-bar, I know you can't blind trade dots, but we are under... Let me go back to the bigger H-bar chart. 3-day green dots. And we are under a weekly green dot. And I'm just not worried about it, guys. I have gone through, and I know it doesn't have to happen every time. But I've showed you my old notebook here. I've gone through on multiple coins here. And I don't typically blind trade dots. I think that's dumb. Y'all guys know I certainly don't do that on Bitcoin. But I have gone through and written down all of dots from multiple coins on the 5-day, the weekly, and the 10-day time frame. All the green dots we got, both in the bull market and the last bear market, bear leg and bear market, right? And so I know the average percentages that we get for each one of these, and we have not even reached the lowest wick high for any weekly green dot on H-bar. So I'm absolutely not worried unless this is the one that stands out and is going to make the new lowest wick high. I'm not worried about it, okay? We haven't even reached that yet. So we have several days. I mean, we got like 5 days left. So even if we come down for a day or two and then come back up, I mean, we're going to be fine. I'm not worried about this at all. West Coast says Sui. Let's take a look at Sui. I looked at Sui yesterday. I don't think I saved the chart, though. Let me see. I should have saved it. I didn't. Yeah. Sui under a 2-day green dot. But let's look at the structure of Sui more importantly. So Sui doesn't look terrible. We talked about Sui. I talked about Sui extensively yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And how I actually like this one for the upcoming bull run. Possibly. Listen, it is way too soon to be deciding which coins you like for the next bull run, right? This is the time you should be doing research about them. Because who knows, in 2 months, when things get really bad for crypto, you know, some bad news could come out for Sui, some fundamental news, they go bankrupt, whatever. So, you know, it's too soon, in my opinion, to be making concrete decisions on which ones you're going to hold in your bags. However, you want to start looking at these things, and I've talked about this before from a technical standpoint, okay? Unless you get lucky, and there will be a few exceptions with ridiculous meme coins and whatnot, the days of your 500 and 1000x coins are over, okay? Are over. I proved this last cycle, and I continue to show it every time we talk about this stuff because I think it's important. And some of you guys are going to get absolutely wrecked because you don't listen to me. I'm not saying I'm always right, guys. That sounded arrogant. But I just believe that I've kind of figured out the way these things are going to go. And they're going to go just like Bitcoin goes. They're going to go on liquidity hunts. You're going to look for coins that have built up liquidity spots. And where is price most likely going to go? What moves the market? Liquidity moves the market, nothing else. Back in the day, you just have some market moved on hype, hyped up altcoins, this and that. It's not like that anymore, and I think this cycle showed that shift, okay? So I would expect that shift to come, and if it comes back into a hype-driven BS market for all, it's great. Take advantage of it, but don't expect that. Expect liquidity-driven markets from this point. So you got to find coins that have good liquidity to the upside that has not been taken, okay? And not all, there are some, but some of them already taken the good liquidity. All right, so first of all, you should act under the assumption that no coin, I don't care, I'm sure your coin will set a new all-time high. Your coin will, nobody else's will. But I'm going to act under the assumption that no coin sets an all-time high. If it does, great, that's a bonus. But assume it doesn't, right? So for this coin, let's look at SUI. All-time high is up here, right? I'm going to assume it never goes back there. So what I want to see is where is price likely to go, okay? The reason that coins are not likely to go to all-time high anymore, unless they're just really strong fundamentally and have good marketing, is because there's no liquidity there. Nobody, think about this, guys. Did you short the all-time high? The answer is no. I don't even have to wait for you to respond. The answer is no. Nobody shorts the all-time high. Almost nobody shorts the all-time high. Do you know why? Because it's an all-time high, so you don't know where it's going to stop. For all you know, it's going to keep going, so nobody shorts the all-time high, all right? What they do is wait on pullback, continuation down, and they short there. That's where they short, okay? Because they didn't know this was a high until the price was down here somewhere. Then they said, oh, shoot, that was the high. Okay, I'll wait on my 618 pullback, and then I'll short there. That's where people short, okay? Nobody shorts here. So there's very little liquidity here. Most of the liquidity is here, okay? Right? They shorted there, put their stop above their entry, right? Same thing you do on Bitcoin trading. It's the exact same thing. So then you want to say, okay, what happened after that? Because you're extrapolating into the future now, so you need to see what happened after everybody piled in their shorts. Because you know they didn't short here. You know they shorted here. Okay, after that, SUI, not all coins, but SUI came back and took that high. So SUI already grabbed this liquidity right here. That liquidity's gone. Okay, so liquidity's not there. There's going to be some liquidity here, but not a lot. Okay, not a lot. There will be some, but not a lot, because most of the liquidity was here. And people that got wiped out here didn't just turn around and fire off a new short right there, right? So where could SUI possibly go? We're going to look at targets to the downside, but when it does come down here, wherever it lands, you got to see where's it going to come to the upside. Okay, you got a good liquidity spike there, but nothing's taking it out. None of this has come back and taken this out. So there's good liquidity here, right? Good liquidity there. Okay, this entire area right here is good liquidity. This is good liquidity, okay? So I'm going to look at worst case scenario, okay? Worst case scenario is, in my opinion, there's a lot of liquidity here, right? There's going to be a lot of liquidity here. So this is worst case scenario right here, about $2. A little over $2, 2.5, 205, 210. That's worst case scenario. So if SUI does a full rotation, which I believe every coin's going to take out the October 10th low, that'll put you below point of control. You're probably going to value area low, right? Somewhere here, you might even take out all-time low right here, 36 cents. But let's assume you go to about, assume you go there, 36 cents. Okay, value area low is right here at 38 cents, so it makes sense you would just take this low right here. But 36 cents, okay, is very legit target for SUI. So I'm going to look at worst possible case scenario is going to be a move up to about 205 or so. So you're looking at a 460% rally. That would be my worst case scenario for SUI. So if you're comfortable with a 400%, because you may not time the exact bottom or the exact top up there, but about a 400 to 500% rally for SUI, that, in my opinion, would be worst case scenario, which is really pretty good. I know you like to see 20, 30 X's, and you might get it. You could very well continue on to all-time high. You very well could, okay? If you did that, you'd be looking at about a 14X, okay? But approach these coins with worst case scenario. Some of them, your worst case scenario is going to be better than 400%. Some of them not as much, okay? But look for them as liquidity targets. I'm telling you guys. So when you're going to research and pick out 10 or 20 coins and go do what I just did, okay? Look at where they might go on the downside. Okay, most likely value area low, if not a little lower. Look at the last major point of liquidity, the last liquidity high, the last major swing high. That's going to be where the most of your liquidity is. That's most likely where they're going at a minimum, and see what that percentage is. And then do a little research on your coin to make sure it's not garbage and going to zero. And if it's, it doesn't even have to be a blue chipper, but somewhere in the top 50, you're probably okay. Probably okay. And pick out 2 or 3 of those coins and diversify a little bit, and you're going to be fine. You're going to be just fine. So anyway, that's my plan for SUI. I would target 30. I'd start buying back in about 40 cents. Don't try to time the bottom in case you miss it by a penny. And next thing you know, you're buying in at 65 cents. And then I would target about $2. Anything above that is, I would at least shave off some really significant profit at $2. Anything above that's a bonus. Now, if you did get into this relatively equal highs right here, if you did get into this, you could absolutely rip through and set a new all-time high, but I wouldn't count on it. I would save a little in reserve. Like, I'd probably at $2 shave off about 70% of my profit and let the other 30% ride. And if you get it, you get it. If not, okay, you still do really well. You still 4 to 5x your money. Let's look at near protocol. I don't know that I've ever looked at near. Okay, near's already at the very low. Could you come back down to all-time low, 52 cents? Yeah, probably a little less likely. But you could. If anything, you are more likely to take this little wick low here that was never captured. Oh, you already took that. Go one a little bit lower there, 76 cents. I'd probably target somewhere in there. But you certainly could come all the way back down. It's only a 50% drop from where you are. You certainly could. Let's assume you come in double bottom. A lot of these coins you're going to see double bottoms on. Let's assume you come back in double bottom. The low is not in my opinion, for anything. So let's assume you come double bottom right there at about 50 cents. Let's just call it 50 cents. Where could we target? Okay, same thing. So this is good, okay? So you have, this is the high, the middle high that you set on SUI, right? Compare this to SUI. Of course, you have all-time high up here. We're going to assume you never get back there, okay? You could. Let's assume you don't. SUI came up and set this high right here, and then SUI dipped down, right? Remember? And then came back and took it. You took it. Took this high on SUI. You did not take this high, so this is a little bit better, maybe. Better option for near. You did not take this high right here, okay? So that means there's still liquidity here, and now there's liquidity here. And, of course, you got the highs right here. There's liquidity in. So I would look for a little higher target on this, but it doesn't mean percentages will be the same. Let's look at percentages. If you came down here to this low, to your first target, your very first target, you're looking at 500%. And then if you did come take these that never got took before, you're looking at another 1,400%. So I actually like this one a little bit better than SUI as far as liquidity. Even if you only came to take this first one, you're still getting about a 70% more return because SUI was somewhere around 450, 460. This is about 520, 530. I like this. This looks good to me. This looks good. This looks like a possibly better return on investment. And again, you can't tell until these coins bottom. All of this is dependent upon where they bottom at, okay? This one may not bottom at 50 cents. This one may bottom right here at 90 cents. If that's the case, if it doesn't go to 50 cents and it bottoms right here at value area low at 90 cents, then you're only getting about a 260 return. So I don't like it as much. It just depends. But I do like this coin for more upside potential from a liquidity standpoint because these weren't taken. whereas they were taken on SUI, okay? So I do like this a little better just from a liquidity hunt standpoint. Old Matt wants to see render. Let's take a look at render. Oh, wow. This, you got a long way to go for this October wick. Wow. Look at this October wick. All right. Let's take a look. Yeah, you got a long way down. If you're still holding render, you need to get out of ASAP. I'm going to tell you folks something that most people think that because certain coins, like we just looked at, gosh, what did we just look at? I don't even remember what we just looked at. We just looked at near, and near is at the value area low. So you would look at something like render, it's not even close to the value area low, and you would think, wow, it's a stronger coin. It's holding up better. It's not going there. And I'm here to tell you, in my opinion, you're wrong. And I'm not saying, old Matt, that you think that. But think about it like this. Think about it when you have coins that, you know, you're watching. You have a coin, and you're watching some other coins, and they're just taking off, right? They're taking off. Boom, 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 boom. And how many times have you done this? You swap coin. About the time it's here, you sell your coin that's just doing this. You sell your coin. You hop on this coin, FOMO in about the time that coin rolls over. And sure enough, about the time that coin rolls over, your coin starts taking off, right? And you miss both pumps, right? It's rotation of money, okay? It's the same thing on the downside. Just because you have some coins already down here and your coin is not, those are going to rotate. While these coins start doing a little of this, your coins are going to catch up, okay? It's the rotation. It's the same thing, okay? So this coin is not here yet. It's coming, okay? You're certainly going to take out this October 10th wick low, which is going to put you right there at the value area low. Anyway, let's just assume that, okay? But other than that, I actually kind of like this one too. I actually kind of like this one a little better than SUI. Now, watch SUI. I'm not saying SUI can outperform everything. SUI can outperform Solana, Bitcoin, you name it. I don't know. Just liquidity hunt speaking, I like this better. As a matter of fact, I like this one a lot. Nothing has been taken. You set a high. You didn't take the high. When you came back up to take this, you didn't even take that high. You didn't take the first high or the second high. When you came back a third time, you didn't take it that time. You didn't take it here. You didn't even take this one with these. You have got just a mountain of liquidity right there. Everybody that shorted these, nobody shorted the top, remember? Everybody shorted this. And none of these peaks got taken. None of them. I mean, look at these. All the way down. Wherever you want to draw from, it doesn't really matter. Actually, did this get taken? I can't see. That's really close. Okay, this did get taken. Okay, so this is canceled out. This is canceled out. This got taken, okay? Nobody shorted this, so that's insignificant. This is canceled. So, but nothing on the way down has been taken out. None of this. None of this is taken. None of these highs. None of them. So, worst case scenario for me, even if not a lot of people shorted this little wick up here, okay, this little wick up here, because most of them got wiped out right here. If not a lot of people shorted this, you still have this and all of this, okay? This would be my target. All right, so let's say we came on down here. We came down to value area low. We could come lower. Highly likely if you come there, you're going to take that. But let's assume you don't. And you just come and kind of wick the value area low. And then you bounce back up to take this out. Let's look at those percentages. This is how I'm approaching all of my alts. Gosh, guys, that's 1,500% just to there. Okay, that's the good target, the big target, 1,500. That's not even to the top, which is 4,000. Oh, my gosh. 1,500. But what's worst case scenario? Worst case scenario, you take the last macro high. Let's look at that. Remember, it was like 400, assuming you come very low, it was like 450% on SUI and 520% on near. Let's see what it is on render. 700%. I like this coin better. I like this coin better. So far, this is the better coin, and I like that you're probably going to get this drop because you haven't taken out your October 10th wick. A lot of coins have. This one has not yet. This is a good matter of fact. I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna add this one to my watch list. I'm not too familiar with render, but I'm gonna do some research on it and check out the fundamentals on the project. But from a technical standpoint, this coin looks really good heading into the next cycle. Okay. No. That's assuming you come here, first of all, and that's also assuming between now and then you don't come take this high, which I don't think you will. But if you do, I no longer like this coin because all this is going to be wiped out, right? But if we don't, which, gosh, you'd have to get 150% rally from here, which is probably not going to happen. I like this coin. Back that up to SUI and near also. Everything I said is assuming we don't come take that last liquidity high, right? Because we shouldn't take any of those. It should be down only, with the exception of a couple little waves to the top side. Uh-oh. Bitcoin moving, guys. Bitcoin is moving. Hang on one sec. That's what we're called for. Did we call for this, guys? I wasn't paying attention. Somebody should have alerted me. I was not paying attention. We called for this. Let's go back and look at it. We called for this. Let's go to the 5 minute. I said we fake out to the downside. Didn't I say this? Didn't I just say this? I hope somebody took this. Somebody should have alerted us. It's my fault. I said we come take the UK low and then move it back to the upside, looking to take the Asia high. I missed this. Yeah, Salt Chain missed it too. Carry Benz was an SFP in Bitcoin. Yeah, we missed it. I was going over these alts. I'm sorry, guys. John needs to explore more of these coins. Yeah, I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. Look at them from a technical standpoint, not a fundamental standpoint. Technicals. It's going to be technical driven. Liquidity is going to drive these markets from now on. Waiting, old Matt, you're waiting. Yeah, no, hey, listen. I'm glad you said something about that coin. I actually like this coin. This looks really good. Of the ones I've looked at, this one looks the best to me from a liquidity standpoint. This one looks the best of all the ones I've looked at. I'm not saying it is the best. I clearly have not looked at all the altcoins, but this one looks really good. I'm big on WorldCoin, and I show it a lot. First of all, I actually think has really good potential technicals, but I look for this to come down somewhere around 25 cents. The last major high you can see right there is about 220, and look at these good highs. Look at these good highs. All-time high at 12 bucks. Look at this. Boom. Just clear spikes to the upside, none of which are taken, right? At 220, at 420, and at 12 bucks, none of those are taken. Worst case scenario, in my opinion, I'm actually looking for this one to definitely come down and take out this 27 cents. If not this 15 cents, well, let's just say we come down here to 25 cents. Looking at an 800% rally right there. So worst case scenario, in my opinion. I love this coin. And this one looks better than all the others. You know, the others are kind of tight. Like they kind of maybe took some highs. It's real tight. This is clear cut. Look at this. I mean, clear cut. Clear cut. Just like that. Clear cut. It's not looking like the rest, which are like this. And then they kind of come up and take that, and then it's kind of like this, like this, like this. This sucker is boom, 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 just like that. You see a giant falling wedge right here. I mean, let me clear this up. I don't know. I really like the. I know the structure looks terrible, but I really like the structure of this from just the sheer standpoint of if this fallen wedge does break out, like look out below. I know this is just a rough drawing, but you guys see it. It's a rough drawing. It's not the greatest drawing. Something like that. It's not the greatest drawing. I know you wicked below it, but that was October 10th. That was ridiculous. But you see this, and if you guys can break out of this, I mean, even if it's somewhere in here, I put you back up to over $4, which takes out this high right here, which is perfect. Look at that. Put you right there, takes out this high. I like this coin. And if you did get that from right down here at this October 10th low, say you came and took it out here, you know, tagged the follow wedge one more time, 1,800%. I'm going to be riding WorldCoin heavy, guys. Heavy. I'm telling you. Check back with me in a year and a half right here. I'm telling you, this coin, and when it gets up and moving, it gets up and goes. It doesn't matter that this looks terrible, okay? You all know this is a bullish pattern. It is a bearish pattern that leads to a bullish breakout. You all know it. You all know it. Just I'm telling you, and none of these highs have been even close to swept. This coin is going to do really well. You're going to miss out if you're sleeping on WorldCoin. Yeah, good fundamentals, old Matt. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's on my radar now, brother. Hang on one second, guys. Let me add something in here. All right. Who had another one in here? Revamp wants to see Ina. I never heard of it. So it'll be our first time looking at it. This looks terrible. This looks terrible. Not a lot of history here, to be fair. It's only been around for less than 2 years. This looks awful. I would avoid this like the plague. We're not even at the bottom yet, guys. We're not even at the bottom. This looks terrible. And I'm not knocking you, brother. You've already taken your October 10th low. You are already, gosh, 50% below your value area range, and we're not even done yet. I would avoid this coin like the plague. We still expect a lot of these coins to come down another 50%. I mean, if you went down another 40% from current price, I mean, you're down around 6 cents. This looks terrible. There is no way I would touch this. This is, I know they don't all look great. And there's a follow wedge pattern on WorldCoin, but at least it has a little structure to it. This does not. This is priced from, I'm assuming it was released here, so you can't count this price. This looks bad. If you were lucky enough to come down about here and ran back to value area range, I just don't think you do it. Your little worst case scenario is going to be right here. So if you came down here and then ran back up to there, 250%. I'm not knocking you, bro, but this is not one I would touch. And that's not to say this can't run up to $100. But this is just not one I would be interested in. See how our long trade's doing. Up $100. All right. Yeah, bro. Sorry, this is just not a coin I would be interested in. Could it hit? Yeah, it could. And that's the thing, guys. Don't get upset with things I'm saying. The only reason someone would get upset about something someone says about an altcoin is if you're emotionally attached. Don't get emotionally attached. They're just coins. They're just coins. Look at them from a business perspective. Where's the liquidity lie on this? Sure, there's probably some liquidity up here, but given the extreme weakness of this coin, I don't see you ever getting back to here. This is extreme. Yeah, some coins are at the very, very low, maybe a hair below it. This is extreme weakness, okay? So this just like it be just like the world coin that's at the very low, but it's not even close to this. This was the extremes of the market right here. October 10th exposed every coin for its extremes. Every coin was exposed on October 10th, almost every coin. This is significantly below that. That is just extreme weakness. If you see a coin that looks like this, run. Delete it from your watch list. Never look at it again, in my opinion. Extreme weakness like this creates fear in people like myself who never want to touch this coin because of just how devastatingly weak this coin looks. I never want to try, and I don't care where the liquidity point is. I never want to even attempt this because it has broken all structure. It's just no. Revamp, I appreciate that, brother, but I hope this makes sense. If you see something that is this far, 50% below your very low, what are you at below the? Remember, when the 10th of October happened, that was the extreme lows for everybody. The extreme. You're already 25% below that, and we're not even done moving to the downside. So you've got to avoid this coin, in my opinion. I don't want to steer you wrong, but in my opinion, this is not a coin you can touch. Wouldn't there be, Hogborn, wouldn't there be liquidity above the value area high? Maybe. Value area high doesn't mean liquidity. Look at this one. This is a good example, okay? So to suggest that would suggest that there's liquidity right here, just above very high, right? Well, that's not how liquidity works. Maybe some people put their stops there, but not most people. Anybody that knows anything about trading is going to put their stops above wick highs. So this, nobody shorted the high, right? We've talked about that. Nobody shorts the high because you don't know that's the high. For all you know, the high is going to be up there, so nobody shorts this. Until price gets to about here, they say, oh, shoot, that was the high. Well, then you can't short here because if you short here, for all you know, it's going to pull back up. So what do smart traders do? They they fib it and wait for a pullback. Okay, so they fib there, and then they wait until they get a pullback, right? Wherever that pullback may come from, right there on this one. There's a pullback between the 0.5 almost to the golden pocket. Okay, well, then they short here. Okay, they short right there. When you get that, they shorted. Okay, they came down. Well, then that was taken. So the liquidity would be here. Technically, it's above the value area high, but it's significantly above the value high. But then this one came and took that out, so all of the liquidity is wiped out. Most people didn't short this. Some people shorted this, but most people were short from here. They got wiped out. They didn't just jump right into another short here. The people that did not short here would have shorted the swing failure pattern here. Okay, so there is some there, but it's not just above the value area high. It's above this wick high right here, above that. But normally that might make me say, okay, that's a good target. You know, there's liquidity. It's a good target. And most coins I would say that on, but again, I keep harping on this. When you're showing this much weakness already, we're not even at the bottom. You're already 50% below the entire range of the life of your coin. That tells me this coin is probably fixing to live down in this area and form you a new range down here. Okay? Best case scenario, you come take this on a new value area range wick above, which is about a 200% move from down here. And there's just every coin we've looked at so far looks better than this one. So to me, why go with this one when we just showed you 4 or 5 other coins that look 2, 3, 4 times better than this, in my opinion. That's not to say Donald Trump's not going to come out tomorrow and tweet about ENA and it goes to $10. But technically speaking, this looks awful. Yeah, they could, Hogborn. That's what I said. They could come take these. That's valid. That's valid. Just the amount of weakness in this particular coin tells me they have no intention of coming back that high again. No intent. They didn't hold any structure. They didn't even think about holding any structure. They just fell right through it. I mean, they knifed right through the very, very low on the 1 wick on October 10th, and they just fell through it with not even attempting. I mean, look, you didn't even attempt, and I'm harping on this coin, but this may not be the only one that looks like this. They didn't even attempt a bearish back test of it. When they did come down, they didn't even attempt to come back and bearish it. But no, they didn't even attempt that. They just fell right through. Like it wasn't even there. So back here, they tested it, boom, and they moved up from it. Here they front ran it, but they respected this general area was very well respected. Not now. Which means sellers or buyers are not interested in this coin whatsoever. And I understand buyers just aren't interested in the market, period, but they're really not interested in this one. All right, anybody want me to look at any more? Bitcoin getting that. I hope some of you guys caught it. I'm sorry. I know I like to catch these. We did call it, though. We did call it. I did tell you 8:30. We opened up with the 8:30 candle. Let's see where our candles are. This is what we do every day. Every day. We just weren't really paying attention. We got off on alts. Here's our 8:30 candle. Open up with the big, I told you, false move. We're looking for a vector candle at 8:30. A vector. The first vector. That's it. That was our false move to the downside. I said at 8:45, we're going to reverse this thing, right? There it is, 8:45. We're going to reverse this thing. I literally told you guys, and I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, if I'm not paying attention, you can still catch this. I literally said we're going to come, swoop the UK low, and then we're going to come take the Asia high, which I already marked it out. And that's well on our way. So we could have easily caught this trade. It was a good trade. I figured this out years ago, and I bring this to you every morning. We just weren't paying attention. We were distracted. Most people fall for the first move of the U.S. Open, and that's cool. That's a big move right there. It's not usually this big, but it's tradable. It's just a guess. You just don't know which way they're going to go with it. But you know that 9 times out of 10, we could sit here for 25 days out of the month. 4 weeks, was that 20? 4 weeks times 7 days, 20. I guarantee you 17 out of the 20, they're going to do just like this. False move at 8:30, real move at 8:45. 17 out of 20, guaranteed. Almost guaranteed. So why coin flip the 8:30 move when you can just sit and watch that for 15 minutes and then get correct the 8:45 move? Just like today. FET. Let's take a look at FET. I've never looked at FET. Let's go back to the weekly. Okay, so this is interesting. This coin's been around for about 6-7 years. I don't like this low down here. I'm not going to include this in my range. I don't know the story here, but this low, is like at a half of 1 penny. And ever since you left this range, so pay attention to this, guys. If you have a coin that looks like this, Dogecoin looks like this, okay? Dogecoin is one of the popular ones that looks like this. You know, is sub 1 penny, and then Elon tweeted, and it ran way up. Well, since then, you've never even come close to coming back to this area, right? So to me, this is irrelevant, okay? Excuse me. Could you come back there? Sure you can. But you left this area 6 years ago, and you haven't even come close to it, okay? So to me, I would not include this in my technical analysis, okay? So I would throw on a volume profile starting about the area you left. So right there. This is about 2-3 cents. This is when you left the area. I would start it from there. And that would be my volume. Let's see. Yeah, that's the candle that pulled up and out of there. So I would start you right there. This would be my range for this coin. You have not quite taken your October 10th low. You'll come take that. You're pretty dang close to it now. You'll definitely take that. So this is your low. This is a good looking coin. I don't know about percentages yet, but the structure of this looks really good. This is your low that I just marked here. This is your low from your last cycle. So you didn't even come to the value area low then. Let me see quickly what that range would have been from there. Yeah, same value area low. You didn't even come there. So you showed some significant strength in this coin in the last bear market. You did not come to the value area low, with almost all coins did. So this looks really good. You did exactly what we were calling for now. You set a low. This is about where we are here. We set for Bitcoin and everything, set a low. Then we rallied for a couple weeks. Then we took that low, and then it was up and on. Okay, this is exactly what we're looking for now. We are looking for this bottoming structure right here, right now, for coins over the next couple of months. Okay, this coin held up really strong. Does that mean it's going to hold up strong this time? No. Okay, you could absolutely crash through all this, and this coin could die. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I'm going to look it up because it looks good. But I'm going to... This may even be one that holds up better than most. You're going to take this, in my opinion. You could actually... And if you take this, you're coming to point of control. If you could hold a point of control, you held it here, you wicked below it, but you held it. In other words, you didn't come here. If you could do that again... Gosh, strong chance you take this, though. Strong chance. I don't know. Let's see what percentage that is. This one's a good one. That's another 40% to here and another 60. I'm going to say you don't take this. This looks really good, guys. I'm going to say you don't take this, okay? This low right here. I'm going to say you come into the point of control and hold it. Okay, could you wick below it a little? Sure. I definitely think you take October 10th. I think everything takes October 10th. I think you come here and hold this. You may wick below it, dance around it for a little while, but I think you hold this. So if that's the case, let's see what our minimum percentages will be. Let's say we come down about here, but somewhere about 8 cents. Okay, so let's look for our minimum targets, right? You got a good high here. Remember, nobody took the high. Nobody shorted the high. You got this next high that ran up. You didn't come back and take it. And then you got this. That's pretty much it. You got this baby one, which we're not really interested in. But this would technically be worst case scenario. But I actually like this one better because of the strength of this coin. And look at how many times you hit value high. 1, 2, we'll call that 3, 4, 5, 6 times you've come to value area high. I like value area high. I like this target right here. Let me clear some of that out. I like this target right here. I think this coin looks really good for right here. 99 cents. Let's call it $1. So if we come down to point of control, maybe wick it, you're looking at a 1,000% rally. Worst case scenario, you come take this one. Well, probably this one right here, this wick right here. 440%, but I actually like this one to 1,000% rally at 10x. I like this coin. This coin looks strong. So worst case scenario, 440, which is about average for most of the worst, except for WorldCoin. But I really like the strong potential of 1,000% rally on this one. Given the fact that this is a clear magnet, this value area high is a clear magnet for this coin. I mean, look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times you've come to this. Yeah, this is a good looking coin. Good job. I'm writing this down on my list too. I don't know anything about this coin, so I do kind of want to look at the fundamentals. Although this is a less fundamental-driven market, I want to make sure this isn't something that I think fundamentally is dying. Like, you got projects that, they come out back here, and then they get a little bit of hype, and all of a sudden you get some good news here, like, oh, BlackRock has stepped in to help us out. We're going to da-da-da, and then you get right about here, you get news that says BlackRock is pulled out. Right? I want to make sure it's not something like that. But technically, this looks good. You guys should put this one on your radar. Do your research. The coins, in my opinion, that should be on your radar right now that we've looked at are WorldCoin, Render, and FET. Fetch. Fetch AI. Oh, it's AI, yeah. But AI, okay. But be careful, okay? I'm not saying AI is not going to be a thing next cycle, but every cycle is a thing, right? It's a thing. Last cycle was meme coins and gamer coins. This time it's AI. So meme coins and gamer coins are gone this time. None of them performed well. Not very well anyways, not like last time. But the AI coins, kicked ass and took names. So what is the thing going to be next cycle? Is it still going to be AI? Maybe. You think that now because you don't know what there's going to be next cycle. There could be a next new thing. You know how it is. Technology is always changing. So if you can get ahead of whatever the next new thing is next cycle, that's the biggie. That's the biggie. But if it's still going to be a fairly decent AI-driven market, this coin looks really good. Max is with me on World. I knew you would be. Revamp and old Matt bringing the awesome coin suggestions. Yeah, I agree. Good job, old Matt. NFTs. Yeah, NFTs were last time. There's no NFTs that I'm aware of this time, but you remember last time these suckers were doing like 20,000x. All the stupid stuff. Where are they now? So who's to say AI is even going to be a thing next cycle? Of course, it'll still be a thing in the world, but it may not be the craze, right, for crypto. So, let's see. What model applies on relatively new coins like Pump or Aster that are quite hyped? Let's take a look at Pump. Oh, gosh. Is this all? Is there more history, or is this brand new? Nothing, bro. Nothing. I'm absolutely, and I'm not upset. I'm absolutely not even going to try with this, because you just don't know. If you look at this coin and you can tell me what this coin is going to do, it's been around for less than a year, then you're literally flipping a coin. We just proved that. We just proved that at Fetch. Look, we literally just proved that on Fetch. Look at the first year of Fetch. Look at the first year of Fetch down here. Sub 1 penny. Who could have predicted you were going to run sub 1 penny? Who in the world could have predicted you were going to run up 47,000% from sub 1 penny? There's nobody in the world that could have predicted this. You just can't. It's a coin flip. And there may be some people that say, oh, I knew it was a good project. I guarantee you there were thousands of projects just like this. Maybe not fundamentally. Maybe not, I don't know anything about the white paper on these. Thousands of coins that were sub 1 penny that went to zero in the first year. Thousands. So you can't predict this. But now that you've got some history here, this is 6-7 years worth of history, you can trade this. But Pump, you can't trade that. I'm not even going to try. Because less than 1% of those actually do something. And yeah, when they do something, you get 47,000% gains. That's phenomenal. That's life-changing money. If you put $1 on it, you made 47 grand. Okay? If you put $100 on it, you made 4.7 million. That's freaking awesome. But most people lost their $100. Most people lost their $100. I don't even feel comfortable. Like, if I gave any of you guys anything on a pump, it would be a guess. And I'd feel bad if one of you took this guess and ran with it with your life savings. So, and no offense, bro, there may be some guys out there, some analysts out there who that's what they do. They study these new coins. They know the fundamentals, the white paper. They know the team that's behind them. And I'm just not that guy. I'm much more of a technical guy. And if we don't have enough history of technicals, I can't do it. Let me look at the other one, though, Aster. Same thing. It looks awful. It looks terrible. You had a probably bogus release somewhere up in here at $3. You've dropped to 60 cents. This has been out for all of about 3 months. Is this thing going to go to $100 or is it going to go to 0? I have no idea. This is not even a reliable range. And if it is, you're massively below your value area low. It looks terrible. But it doesn't mean that something can't happen tomorrow and this thing go to $100. It doesn't mean that. And I'm sorry, I sound frustrated, I know, but I'm not. I just don't know what to tell you on these. This is pump. You're significantly below your value area range. It looks terrible. But I mean, again, Fetch AI looked terrible in the first year also. It looked terrible before it went on to 47,000% gains. And that you just don't know. But now that Fetch AI has been around for a while, it's proven itself, has developed some price action, some liquidity. It has some meat to it, right? I can look at that and I can tell you what I think is going to happen. Does that mean I'm correct? No, but I can give you a pretty good estimate, and I can certainly tell you if it looks strong or weak. Right? We can certainly look at this and determine whether or not it looks strong or weak, and it looks really good after history. You can't look at Aster or Pump and tell me if it's strong or weak. Right now, they both look weak, right? But right now, they both look exactly like Fetch did in the first year. Exactly. As do most coins like that, and that's the problem. You see something like this that looks exactly like them and did 47,000%, and what I'm not showing you, because I don't even remember their names, most of them did this. So I just can't do it, bro. I'm sorry. But if anything, if you, depending on your financial situation, if you like the coin and you know something about them, I mean, throw you $100 down there. You might make you $4.7 million on a 47,000% pump. Throw you $100 on it. I certainly would put my life savings on either one of those coins, though, or anything more than about $100. But that's not actually a terrible idea. If you've got, 10 coins that look like Pump, right? 10 coins that look like Fetch did when Fetch was down here. Though you got $1,000 extra bucks that you really just don't care if it got set on fire or not. Like, you plan to lose it, but throw you $100 on 10 of them. If you can lose $1,000 and not lose a wink of sleep, $100 on 10 of these, you might catch a $4.7 million runner. Now, this took time. This took 5 years, took 4 years. But even if you ran it up in that first cycle, you still made $1.6 million if you got bottom to top on a $100 investment. So, if you got that kind of dough to spare, in my opinion, it's fun. In fact, I might do that. Carrie Ben said possible reversal in BTC in 5 minutes. That would be right now. Let's go take a look at bitter corn. That's been about 5 minutes ago. I don't think so. I think you come take Asia high, but I would not be interested in this anyway until we at least SFP this high. So if it came down from here, it would go without me. I would entertain something there. See what the cipher looks like if we did come there. Okay, so if we came there now, we NSFP'd it. We should have some good 5-minute divs. So we should have some good divergences. Look at the 15. You would not have it on 15. So look at the 3. Yeah. You could have it in the 1. You could, so you, this might be good. If you came back enough to SFP this and this, you would have 5-minute divs if it came right now, and you would have 1-minute divs right here. Well, you do have volatility expansion with stochastic headed up, but it is the 1-minute time frame. Yeah, Salt Chain, Kerry Benz is holding down the fort. He's being our eyes and ears on the Bitcoin while we ramble about some alts. Yeah, Hawkmore, that's exactly right. Those pump, those Acer, those are the ones you throw $100 on, just in case. If you lose it, you lose it. I agree. I'm all about it. I'm going to find me a couple coins. Matter of fact, the Lord may have sent you into my life, Revamp, just to give me Pump and Aster so that I can throw $100 on and make me $1.7 million on each. Thank you, my friend. I'm going to do that on at least one of those coins. And I'm going to show you when I do it. Not yet. I'm going to wait until they take out their October 10th low. Matter of fact, I'm going to write them on my list right now. I might put 100 on both. If you got any more of those long shotters, especially if you got one that's in the AI realm that's kind of just coming out, if you got something like that, share it with us. If you've got an AI coin that is brand new, that has not run up yet, that is still right down there around a penny, sub 1 penny, give it to me. I'm serious. If you know of any of those guys, those are the ones you might get now-ish in the next couple months and hold on to through the next cycle with $100 and make you a couple $100 grand. Be prepared to lose that $100 though. I did that last cycle with Luna Classic. You remember Luna Classic was over $100, and then it crashed to well sub 1 penny one day. I did that with Luna Classic. I bought 1 million of them. I'm like, wow, if it only goes back to $1, I'm gonna make $1 million on this $200 investment. It just kept going down. My $200 investment's worth about $60 right now. That's okay though. I took a shot. RWA. Never heard of it. Kerry Ben's gonna be mad at me if I leave. Well, hang on, bro. Let me set you an alert. I'll set an alert here so I don't miss this if we come back up. Is this it, bro? You want me to chart this? That's real world assets market cap. Oh, you're just talking about actual real world assets. My bad. I thought we were charting coins. All right, guys. Well, that's what we're looking for. I do think, Kerry Benz, if we get this trade right here, we will consider taking this. I really like the U.S. to continue this pump, though. I don't think we just take the high that the U.S. just set and move back down. Let me refresh this, and we'll do a quick analysis. I think we come take Asia high. I think it's clear as day. I think this is a very clear cut Asia UK trend down. The U.S. takes it all back kind of day. I think we come in to take all of this. And as you can see, we've pretty much, since we set the low last week, we've just kind of been bouncing this range. You know? A little above, a little below, just kind of been bouncing this range. You can see a nice sideways range here, which is exactly what we look like here, right? This is on the weekly time frame, but you see what I'm saying? It's exactly what we look like there. I just think we're going to bounce here for a while. So I would certainly look to, every time we've bounced here, we've come back to at least a very, very high. So I would look for a bounce very, very high. Did I lose my Asia high? Thought I had it marked. Asia high right there above value very high. I just like that. I like that. That would be my target. I do have an alert set though, so if we do SFP this, it's just not getting there in the hurry with which you would want to see that for me. I would have wanted to see something quick, but it's just kind of hem-hawed around right here, kind of consolidating a little. I would have wanted to see something more like just like that, and then maybe trade down once you confirm the SFP below this. I just don't like this. I like a little more upside today. Let's look at some of the cipher stuff, see what it's telling us. I'm on the 5-minute. You got 5 minutes. Yeah, I like a little more upside. Look at this, guys. You got a well-rounded bottom here on money flow. And I'm only in the 5-minute. Well-rounded, trying to break into the green here, right here. If you can break into this green, you should have some good upside momentum here for a little while anyway. On the 5-minute, you can see the last time you broke into the green here, it was short-lived, but you still got a little move up here. About 1.5%. See where that would put us if you did anything similar. 1.5% take you right up there to the Asia high, 1.75%. I like a little more upside today, guys. $90-minute green dot right now. You're about to get a 2-hour green dot here, guys. Most likely. Well-rounded bottom here in money flow, trying to break back into the green. Should get here in just a few minutes, actually. Here in just 3 minutes, you should get a 2-hour green dot. I just like a little more upside. I'm not interested in this SFP, even if we SFP it. I don't think it would be a good SFP, in my opinion, Carry Bins. If you want to take it, I don't want to discourage you. But I think if we did take this, I just think it would be short-lived. Like, as in, like, lower term time frames. Because you might come down in the 5, 10, 12-minute time frame, but ultimately the 2, 3-hour, 90-minute, they're all suggesting a little more upside coming. So I'll look for a little relief. You know how that goes. We got a big old dump this morning from CEFU and BlackRock dumped on us in the night. I showed you that in Discord. You should have been prepared for that. I gave you the short in advance. We made $2,400 on it. Some of you took it. And I just don't see anything else loading up for the ETFs. I haven't gotten any notifications. So I think the dumping is over for the day. I think the U.S. takes back. I think the U.S. takes back what Asia and the U.K. gave, right? I think they take some of this back. Hopefully our alts see some little bit of relief because we are in that spot alt trade. And get back at least to a break even and maybe revisit then. I would take a break even if I got back up to break even at this point. Just because it went so far in the wrong direction, I just break even and look for the next entry. So I think we get some of that today, guys. That's my opinion. Looking for 70K-ish, 70.5K, somewhere in that area. So All right, let's see. I mentioned this before, but we got caught in that second bubble for a while, so it makes sense that we stay in this 8th bubble. Yeah, we'll be in this 8th bubble, in my opinion, for 2 to 5 weeks. I agree. Revamp OG and XPL are high-risk reward coins with volatility but strong fundamental new projects in the list of new coins. OG and XPL. I'm going to write those down. XPL and OG. I'm not going to look at them now because I got to roll, but I'm going to look at these today, and when we come back tomorrow, I'm going to try to have a list of, certainly by Thursday, I'm going to try to have a list of kind of coins like this that are newer, that I think will have good potential, that I'm willing to throw $100 on, maybe a handful of those, and see if those turn into big fetch AI 47,000% runners. So I'll tell you the ones that I found. I'm going to research that today. I appreciate you. Thanks, Revamp. Thanks for giving me some of these. Oh, Matt, you gave me a couple good ones to look at, too. I appreciate it. And I encourage you guys to take a look at WorldCoin. I've been following this coin for about 3 years now. And I'm telling you, WorldCoin has potential. It's the Orb eye scanner thing, right? Sam Altman, which used to be a business partner with Elon Musk, so you know he's smart and he's connected. And he's trying to get that mainstream with all these countries to do voting and Ticketmaster stuff, to where you have to prove your identity, and KYC basically, for everything with the eye scan. Celebrities are already talking about it. There's some privacy issues there, so it's kind of a little hiccup right now. But if that thing catches on, guys, I'm telling you, WorldCoin fundamentally is massive. And I just showed you how the technicals have some great untouched, unmitigated swing high level. So I'm just telling you, do you, not financial advice, but WorldCoin is high on my list, and I'm going to look at some of these others, and also the ones we talked about that did have history. I like the Fetch AI and the Render. Both of those looked really, really good and hopeful for the next bull run. So, all right, guys, Australia, yeah, nice. I like it, brother. Thanks for hanging out with us. I will catch you. I'll be in Discord the rest of the day. Live Discord trading tomorrow. That's Wednesday and Friday, live in the Discord. So I'll see you guys right back here tomorrow morning, okay? I'll see you guys.